Hello, welcome back to Hello World for our review section. We are reviewing Unit 0 to Unit 4, and this is Part 2. So come with us as we go into the second part of our review section. Up and away! So Hello World, Units 0 to 4, Review Part 2, with me, Professor Neil, and my TA, Yonghee. Hello, Yonghee.
Hello, welcome back to the review video of Hello World from Unit 0 to Unit 4, Part 2.
Oh, very dramatic. Yonghee, you are good at this, like making
Part 2.
Making it sound like a movie.
Party time.
Yeah, so we're doing our best to try and make the review cheerful and happy and enjoyable. Because, yes, it is just a review. And review does mean, well, tests. And that's not such a happy thing for anyone. However, this is to try and make it a little bit easier by going through as we've done, the warm-up, the vocabulary, some reading and dialogues. And now we are going to go through some of those readings. We're going to start with readings 1, then we're going to look at the dialogues, and then we're going to look at readings 2, and then we're going to do the portfolios. But here we are with readings 1. Alright, and Yonghee, I have some questions. Are you ready to deal with the questions based on the readings?
Yes, I'm ready to
Go right now.
rock the answers.
So here we have Unit 0, reading 0.1. So Yonghee, question 1, first question, which is in the handout. So hopefully you have the handout. Hopefully those at home have the handout and are ready for the first question. The first question is, what is a computer?
A computer is machine.
Yes, a computer is a machine. A computer is a machine. And what? So it says computers are machines programmed with software. So
if we want to have a bit longer answer, so if we want to answer in short form, we say computer is a machine. While we want to have a long answer, we say the computer is a machine programmed with software.
yeah, oh, very good. Yes, if we're just talking about one computer, a computer. And what does software do?
Software runs on a computer. Again, it also can be a longer answer. Software runs on a computer and connects the user to applications.
Very nice. And what do applications do?
Applications allow a user to write document, calculate formula, surf the internet, read emails, look at images, and connect to many devices, etc., etc., etc.
Okay, so let's just quickly run through those 3 questions again. Or was it 4 questions?
3 questions.
Okay, so what is a computer?
Computer is a machine programmed with software.
Oh. And what does software do?
Software runs on a computer and connects the user to applications.
And what do applications allow a user to do?
Applications allow a user to write document, calculate formula, surf the internet, read emails, look at images, connect to devices, and so on.
And so on, etc. Alright, so those questions were in the unit previously. Now for our next part, we're moving on to multimedia. And in our handout, we only have 1 question. Okay, so the question this time in the handout is, what is the difference between media and digital multimedia?
The difference between the two are the types of multimedia and digital multimedia.
Yes. So media can be things like documents, spreadsheets, images, charts, and so on. Digital multimedia is devices, electrical devices. So digital multimedia can be document spreadsheets if they're on a computer. But digital means they are electronic. Because media can be non-electronic, like a book you are reading or a magazine. So digital multimedia is electronic, and media can be both electronic and non-electronic.
Professor Nia, can I say then multimedia is a media like documents and so on, while digital multimedia are digital devices.
Digital devices. Yeah. So media can be anything like documents, spreadsheets, images, while digital multimedia is devices such as computers and laptops. Not an easy question I gave people there, but okay, we'll see how they get on. Unit 2, reading 2.1. We have 2 questions. What do hardware devices do?
Hardware devices do 4 things: input, output, process, and store data.
Very nice. And what is the difference between a component and a device?
A component is a part of a device, while device is a full form of a computer machine.
Yeah, so a device is the whole thing, a component is part of the thing. Okay, hopefully there. So for an example is a computer is the whole thing, the CPU is a device, is a component in that computer. Then we have Unit 3, reading 3.1, where we looked at files. And so what does, this is, as I said, an important one. What does the extension tell a user?
The extension tells a user what type of program the file is compatible with, or the extension tells a user what type of platform the file is compatible with.
Very good, yes. And what does a .docx file tell a user to use?
.docx file tells a user to open the document in Microsoft Word.
Oh, very good, Young-hee, because that's a little different from what we learnt from before. So yes, a .docx file tells a user to open the file in Microsoft Word. Because if you recognize the extension, you know which software it is compatible with.
So when we look at the extension name, we'll be able to understand which program or platform we need to use to open those given files.
Yes. And that's what the operating system does. And that's why we lead on to the operating system for Unit 4, reading 4.1. And we have our 2 questions about the operating system, which we've dealt with before. And they are answered here in the reading, but we will go over them one more time. So, Young-hee, what is the operating system?
The operating system, in short OS, is software on a computer that runs and controls all the other software on the computer.
Yes, I think sums it up enough. And what roles does an OS manage?
The OS manages 3 essential roles, such as setting up a user interface, launching and running applications, and providing applications with access to hardware devices.
Yes, and so as it says, once a computer boots up, the OS creates a UI that identifies, configures, and manages a range of hardware including processors, chipsets, networking, graphic user interface, GUI, etc., showing the importance of the operating system in the whole process of running a computer. Basically, no operating system, no computer. No computer, no operating system. Wow, it's like a chicken and egg situation. Good. Well, if those are the reading ones, those are the short readings, which means we are slowly working our way through. And next up, some more dialogues.
Ooh, dialogues too.
Yes. Hetty and John videos, though, you have to go back to the other videos to watch those. For now, we're just going to answer the questions in the handout. Alright? Some of these questions will come up in the midterm test. And so worth practicing and just making sure you read through them. There's a lot. If you feel you cannot memorize everything, I recommend you read through everything, even once. Reading everything once will make a difference when it comes to the tests. So even if you cannot memorize everything, reading through everything once will help you with dealing with the midterm tests. So, for example, when you have to be asked these questions, you might be ready with the answers. So, Unit 0, Dialogue 0.2, Yonghee. Why isn't John's PC switching on?
Because his PC has some problem.
It has a problem, yes. We don't know why.
We don't know because Sam from IT will find out.
Okay. And what is Hetty's suggestion?
She suggested that to check cable or call IT.
Yes, very good. So not much going on there. We know that Hetty had her PC set up, and we know that John's PC will not switch on, but we don't know why. But Hetty does suggest that he check the cable, which he says he did, and therefore she suggests he should call IT. Suggestion. Often IT world is full of suggestions and solutions. So, Dialogue 1.2, Unit 1. Okay. What does John's new laptop fail to do?
His laptop fails to connect to the projector in the meeting room.
Very nice. And what is Hetty's advice?
As always, she advised John to call IT support.
Yes. Alright, because Sam in IT always has a solution.
Yes, Sam in IT is Hetty and John's savior. Hero.
So next up, Unit 2, 2.2. What hardware device of John's isn't working?
His printer?
Yes.
His printer is not working.
Yeah, all difficult. As he says, mine does not work. So he's saying his printer does not work. And what did John do to resolve his problem with his printer?
He has to switch it off the printer first and then reboot.
Yes. All right. He actually had to switch off his computer and reboot his computer.
He had to switch off his computer off first and then reboot.
But it's not clear. Oh, very good. Okay, so Unit 3. Let's go to Unit 3. Here we had 2 dialogues. So, but I think we only need to look at the second dialogue because in the first part A, Hetty explains about file specifications, file specs being file extension, file size, and file compatibility. And then she says, let's have a look at your mysterious file. So John is like, okay. All right, so he's had Hetty open the cloud. And what extension does John's mysterious file have?
John's mysterious file has the extension PDF.
Very nice. And what application is a PDF file compatible with?
is compatible with Adobe Acrobat.
Adobe Acrobat, correct. Yes, so he has a PDF file and it is compatible with Adobe Acrobat. Good. Well, as I said, so that means that leads us on to the last thing, all talking about storage and security of files in Dialogue 4.2. And so what did security not protect Hetty's PC against?
Against hackers.
Yes, it did not protect her against a hack. Or against hackers. Very good. And what managed to recover all of Hetty's files?
Thankfully, storage management of the computer recovered all of Hetty's files.
Very good, and that's good. But they do need to improve security. But for now, we will move on to our questions about the reading. So, the long readings, but we only got 2 questions for each readings. They are long readings, but we're only going to be asking 2 readings. And Yonghee's favorite one, reading 0.1. We're not reading
0.2.
0.2, yes.
We had the 0.1 at the beginning of this video, Professor Neil.
Thank you, Yonghee. Thank you for keeping me awake. Yes, so this is Unit 0 with reading 0.2. And
I like John von Neumann.
John von Neumann. Okay, so we got our questions then. So what did John von Neumann create?
He created a computer architecture.
When?
In 1945.
Amazing. And according to the article here, what is a computer?
A computer is a data processor.
Yes, that's one of our students' favorite answers in the online quiz. Many students wrote data processor. So that a computer is a data processor is probably the best answer to the question, what is a computer?
What is a computer, Professor Neil?
A computer is a data processor. All right, thanks to John von Neumann's computer architecture.
He's a genius.
He's a genius, yes, no doubt about that. So then we have Unit 1, reading 1.2. And so, just a couple of questions. So, what are multimedia devices good for?
Multimedia devices are good for our lives in many ways. First, communication. Second, saving time. Third, watching movies.
Yeah, in a way.
Squid Game.
Yes. Well, yeah, but that's not a movie there. But yeah, Netflix is mentioned there. So yes, multi-devices are good for communication, saving time, and watching TV shows and movies. All right, they help make our lives better. So just one other question from the handout. What is an easy way to wish someone happy birthday?
We can send birthday e-card by social media platform.
Yes, as long as there is no outage and they've crashed.
Just like a Facebook or Kakao Talk.
Yes, but as
or Hangout or Instagram, etc.
Yes. Unit 2, we've got 2 more questions. Oh, these will come up in... So this one will come up in the online quiz. What was the IBM 5100 and what language did it run on?
Today I studied that. IBM 5100 was the first movable computer. And it ran on basic programming languages.
Very good. And so our second question, what was the Grid Compass 1100 and how much did it weigh?
Grid Compass 1100 was designed in 1979 and it weighs It weighs 5 kilogram.
And it was the first notebook computer.
First notebook computer?
Yes, the Grid Compass 1100 was the first notebook computer, and it weighed 5 kilograms.
Okay, let me repeat. Grid Compass 1100 was the first notebook computer, and it weighed 5 kilograms.
Yes, and cost $8,000. Whew. Our last reading. Oh no, not our last, our penultimate reading. What are 3 benefits of what are 3 benefits cloud storage has?
The cloud storage has 3 benefits. First, have easy access to their files for the users, and then given a chance to store large amounts of data,
Very good.
and also good for data protection.
Very good, Yonghee. Yes. So yes, it 3 benefits. First benefit is easy access to files. Second is large amounts of storage, and finally, good data protection. Right, then that leads us on to Unit 4, reading 4.2.
Final unit readings.
Yes, what are the main parts of an OS?
Main parts of the operating system OS are the kernel and system programs.
And what knowledge does a computer engineer need to build an OS?
Computer engineers need to build on the OS to have a solid understanding of computer science and computer programming.
Yes, a computer engineer needs to have a solid understanding of computer science and computer programming.
So computer engineers need to understand the computer science
Yes.
and computer programming.
Yes, algorithms, data structures, resource management, and software engineering, and languages such as binary, Java, and C, if they want to build an operating system. Hopefully, some of our listeners out there have those capabilities and skills and will one day create their own operating systems and turn themselves into billionaires on boats. So yes, as you can see, we've finished the reading sections, we've finished the handout. This is just the portfolios. This will come up in the speaking test. Okay, so we're not going to go into too much detail here because it's going to go up in the speaking test. So this week is the midterm online quiz that is graded, and then next week is the speaking test. For the speaking test, I will ask you to record your answers and submit them as an audio file to eClass. So we will ask you the questions from the portfolio, from the handout. Some of the questions will come from the handout that we've just been through, and some of the questions will come from the portfolio section. So for example, we've done what is your name. So we've been through all these sections. So Yonghee, do you have any other questions referring to portfolios?
Not really at the moment because Professor Neil, you explained everything in detail very clearly.
Yeah. So in the speaking test, the one thing though is I will ask the questions on an audio file, but you will answer the questions based on what you hear, and you will have to answer with sentences. So for example, let's use number 4, portfolio 4. For example, Yonghee, if you ask me the questions, I'll give the answers in a sentence form.
Excuse me, sir, what is your name?
My name is Neil Alexander Patrick.
If you don't mind, can I ask you several questions?
Please do.
Mr. Patrick?
Okay.
Or Professor Neil?
Okay.
What OS is on your PC?
Mac OS Big Sur is on my PC.
When did you upgrade the OS?
I upgraded the OS 3 years ago.
What security do you have?
I have Apple security.
Did you get hacked?
Not on my Apple PC.
What can you program in?
I can program in JavaScript and C.
What can you build?
I can build a basic PC and a basic website.
Oh, very good.
Well, that's the idea. So you'd answer them with a short sentences, and then you'd send me the audio file.
Professor Neil, can I clarify finally that so today's review, part 1 and 2, is about giving our students the idea of a midterm test that it be done on online
quiz and online speaking test too, where they submit an audio file with their answers.
Okay, so we will have an online quiz and online speaking test, but speaking test will be done by submitting of recorded audio file by the students.
Next week. This week is the online quiz. Next week is the online speaking test file submitting. So thank you for listening. I hope you understand things. If you have any questions, message me. For now, good luck. This is the end of the review. So goodbye from me, Professor Neil, and goodbye from my TA, Dong-hee.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Good luck.